Welcome to another edition of Got Gameplay on our YouTube channel, and each and every week we look at video game footage from a new video game. This one's so new it's not even out yet. I'm looking at some of the new modes from the Battlefield Hardline trailer, which strangely is the most divergent Battlefield game in years, but also you're doing the same thing. I mean, I've played I don't know how many matches of Battlefield across I don't know how many games. Battlefield, 1942, Battlefield 2, Battlefield 1943, the ones that went to the future, that standalone DLC map thing that was 1943. I think it was called Battlefield 1943. I've played a lot of Battlefield, and in those games you go and you find control points and you capture them and you hold them. And whoever captures and holds the majority of the maps and the majority of the points in the map will get the majority of the game points and thus win the game. Whoever has the most game points wins the game. In this, they've made slight adjustments, but still the same idea, where you are definitely going and grabbing control points, but they've changed it up depending on the mode. This one is called Hotwire, and in Hotwire, you basically control a car, or, there's a truck, there's some vans too. Not every control point is the exact same vehicle. Some of them change depending on what vehicle, what control point you've gone to. And, yeah, I have control point. What control point do I have? Control point E? I'm currently controlling control point E because I'm driving the vehicle that is technically control point E. And the more I drive around at speed, the more I get control of that control point, and thus the more points I get. So basically, I'm still holding a control point. I just gotta make sure I drive it around the map really, really fast. And that can be the big problem of what I've seen of Battlefield Hardline so far. As you'll note, though, in the corner it does say beta, so this is really just the beta version of Battlefield Hardline. It's not the final version, so who knows? They might change it up completely. That doesn't technically or typically happen during betas, but you never know. They might change something drastic. But as I see the game right now, I'm not really impressed because, well, Hotwire involves a lot of driving around really fast, which is something that I've been known to be really good about, or really good at. And it kind of gets boring once you're just a guy driving along by yourself and there's no one that can really catch you. Well, the game kind of becomes boring. And this was pitched as, I remember the E3 videos that they showed off last year or maybe the year before, where they were showing like this ongoing battle, just this battle that went from street to street, never stopped. You would change the angles of camera a bunch of times, but you'd still constantly go from like one person to the next, and the battle would keep on going. That is definitely not what is happening here. What's happening here is that I kind of grab a vehicle, or I don't, and then I spend a lot of time either driving around the map waiting for somebody to attack me, which, hey, I've been ambushed a few times by people who stay in one spot, but rarely have I actually ever been like tracked down and captured. Or I do what I can to track down and capture somebody, which, I mean, if I'm driving a car by myself, that's kind of hard to do because you need somebody to gun for you. You can have up to 4 people in a car, depending on which one it is. I think the truck can only carry 2. But anyhow, it's a lot of trying. Ooh, as I fall from one level of the thing to the next and get in this truck. It's a lot of driving around and just waiting for something to happen. And I found actually the heist mode to be a lot more entertaining, which I know it's weird because I'm like the driving guy. I like driving stuff. There's just not much to do around here. You just drive around a lot. And I do that on my free time sometimes. I'll just go for a drive. I don't need a video game for that. Same reason I never got into Nintendo Pets or whatever it's called. I have a dog. I don't need a virtual dog. I got a real dog. I mean, video games are supposed to replicate things that I can't do in real life. So that's my problem with Hotwire. But as I said before, and I wish I had footage of it, but I had issues with my capturing equipment. Heist is a lot more interesting. It's not, as I say, a grand departure from the Battlefield series. In that game, basically the control points are vaults full of money or jewels or whatever, and you have to go and either defend those vaults as the cops, or try and blow them up and steal the money as the criminals. And that's actually a lot more I find fascinating, because I feel like it turns into prolonged battles of you get shot, you respawn, you go again, and you're back in the battle. And you might get shot again, but then you respawn and then you're back in battle. It's a wave, it's an ongoing wave of stuff that's happening, not just this, which is a lot of driving around. So that's what Battlefield Hardline looks like. For now, we will probably be taking a look at Evolved next week. So until then, this has been another GOT Gameplay.